we are going to be reviewing Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens. This will be a spoiler-heavy edition. Do not watch this until after you've seen the movie. Someone actually spoiled something for me, and I felt crushed, like crestfallen after that. And
you don't even normally care about spoilers.
Normally I don't, but it really sucked. So please do not watch this. Do not read the comments until you've already seen the movie. I think you will be happier for it, and I think you will have a much better experience. I don't want that spoiled for anyone. Even Harrison Ford himself said, don't do it. And he doesn't care about anything. So seriously, do not watch this without watching the movie. All right, you've been warned enough. Let's do it.
Okay.
So, spoiler version. Tell me what you liked and what you didn't like.
Okay, so first of all, on the big spoiler, I guess maybe we'll start with that.
Sure.
So that was spoiled for you. Now so the big spoiler is that Han Solo is killed by Kylo Ren.
Who is his son?
Who is his son? Ben Solo.
Solo Organa.
I like that they throw that in there, and they don't really say anything else about it. So I felt like I did not predict that Han Solo would die in the first hour and a half of the movie.
But listen, he took the Obi-Wan role. He took
the Obi-Wan role, yes.
The mentor.
Exactly. So I didn't predict it. Ben Mankiewicz, who I saw the movie with, did predict it. And right up until it happened, I just saw it again with Brett's girlfriend, and she didn't predict it. So it sucks.
Was Brett there?
No, he went to a different one.
Whoa, controversy. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
So she didn't. So that's why it sucks that people are spoiling it, because for me. So you've seen the movie by now. As soon as he walked onto the catwalk, I was like, okay, 80% chance he's dead.
It's over.
Then the door opens, and Daisy Ridley and John Boyega are looking down. I'm like, oh no, it's done.
It's over.
They're only there to see him die.
It's signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah.
They are there to be the audience.
So
they are there to experience this and have it affect them for the future.
So was this a good thing that they did?
I mean, I think Harrison Ford, if anyone of the old guard, would probably be the most likely to want out.
Yeah. Well, apparently this was the only way he was going to do it.
Yeah.
That's what we've heard.
So, I mean, if plot-wise, he's the least essential of the big three, because he doesn't.
I guess.
He doesn't have the Force. Chewie can step in. Lando could step in.
Yeah, I really hope that they bring back Lando. I don't know about Chewie. For me, the bringing back of Luke is very much like, well, I don't care. I'd rather have Han Solo, honestly. I think that it was a good move. I think that Kylo Ren was he's a great new villain and everything, but.
He's conflicted.
He's conflicted, definitely. But he seemed like I didn't really buy why he would have the authority. Like, I feel like it was, so the big guy with the scar on his face. Snoke. I feel like this is his son, and it's nepotism. And he's like, okay, you can go around and you can mess up computers or whatever, even though.
He threw tantrums. Like a child.
That's
and
why
so much
this
that
needed
the
to happen.
Stormtroopers were like, no, not dealing with this.
It's Thursday again. So I feel like this needed to happen to up the stakes for him as a villain. And like he needs to receive the training that he's going to get, because the fact that Daisy Ridley could defeat him in a lightsaber battle, even though he's a trained, basically, Sith Lord at this point.
He's not all the way done.
He's not all the way done, but she's been doing it for 3 minutes.
I would say he's a Sith Knight at this point.
Yeah, he's a Knight of Ren.
A Knight
supposedly.
of Ren. Well,
so I feel like this was a good call.
In terms of ranking, I would say he's a Knight.
Yes.
Even though that's a Jedi term.
Yes. So I think that it was a perfectly fine call to do. I think that it upped the emotional stakes. The Star Wars movies have the problem of major characters being put in a lot of instances of danger, but they don't die, and so the danger isn't as real.
It
so
makes
you kill
more
one or two
sense
characters.
For someone to die.
Yes.
And then J.J. Abrams, that's his MO.
Other than just Porkins.
That's what he does. Like, he will kill your fave.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And the way that he did it, I mean, I kind of blame Leia, because he wouldn't have walked up if Leia hadn't said, bring him back.
Well,
so this is her fault, really.
She didn't mean for him to die.
Well, no, but it's her fault.
Pardon me. I think, though, her reaction wasn't enough to feeling him die. It was just kind of
the fact that she felt it from light years away, I think says something about their love.
She should have done something. Well, that's her sensitivity.
Yeah.
But I felt like it should have been more. I feel like
Maybe.
Han should have been more and more. Maybe we'll see something in the next
Chewie
one.
was pissed. I like that.
Chewie was upset.
Really fast on the Leia thing. So I was very glad that she was in it. I like what they've done with her character. There was something about her voice that really bothered me.
Well, Carrie Fisher's gotten older and her voice changed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess
that's all
that's
there
true.
is to it.
She was a fine character. She didn't have much to do in this movie. And actually, we were talking before this review, so much was made of Captain Phasma.
She's barely in it.
Why is Captain Phasma in this movie?
Okay,
I don't know why she's in the movie.
One problem I had was there's too many people vying for the top spot on the dark side or the first.
See, I like that.
There's too many.
I like
there's
that.
too much trouble.
I've always felt like the Star Wars movies, what they were missing was what Game of Thrones does well, and a lot of other more adult. Like, you need to have factions. You can't just have everybody on the rebellion agrees. Like, and that doesn't happen in the novels. In the expanded universe, there's different factions inside of the rebellion's leadership that are backstabbing and they're doing backroom deals. But the movies present it as if everybody agrees with the leader, Mon Mothma, and then on the dark side, everybody agrees. I like that you have the sort of lingering Sith-esque presence, and then you have the more sort of just administration sort of thing. I think that's good. There was a little bit of that in the original movies.
But Domhnall Gleeson's role, or General Hux, he was so much bigger than I thought he would be. I was sure Phasma would get the bigger role of the two of them.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I guess Captain Phasma is going to be in the other movies, but like, she's going to all of these press things.
It's like she's a main character. Like,
she has a couple lines, and that's
I don't see Oscar Isaac at all the press things, but I see her at all the press things.
Yeah. I mean, part of it, I think, is that they did an amazing job, and they tried to do an amazing job of hiding as much about this movie as possible, and that's why you not only don't see any indication that Rey is a Force wielder in the trailers, but they purposefully try to make you think John Boyega is. Like, he's the one with the lightsaber in the last trailer.
He tries.
Well, considering he doesn't have the Force, I think he did a pretty good job.
It was spoiled for me, actually, at Disneyland.
What was?
Because there's this center, this place where it's like, it shows the costumes and the props, and they put hero lightsaber, well, they call it hero lightsaber, with Rey's clothes, and it's like, oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's good. And look, I know that there's a lot of things that they're trying to put in these movies, and I've watched like the Clone Wars and Rebels and all that, so I know that there's female Jedi, like I've read the books, and I know Luke Skywalker's wife and everything. There's lots of female Force wielders, but when the first time that Rey activates her lightsaber, I'm like, yes!
She's got this.
Yes!
She's gonna win.
No, that she individually has got it, but like, you went through all 6 movies without, other than in the background of the Clone Wars maybe, it's like women can't be Jedi. And when she does it, you're like, yes, this is Star Wars. It has been expanded now.
I guess Star Wars proper, but we have Ahsoka, we have Mara Jade.
Oh no, like I said, I've seen all that.
They're no longer canon, but they happen.
But most kids aren't going to see that stuff. And so to have them see, I think, her activate a lightsaber and fight a Sith Lord,
My question is, okay, it's heavily implied that Rey is Luke's daughter, right?
Yeah, I guess it has to be. I assumed up until the very end that her and Kylo Ren were twins.
I thought they were twins. Like, when they had scenes together, I thought, they have very similar profiles.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're cousins. And they kind of, I mean, there was one line that makes it so obvious. So Ben Mankiewicz thought that the movie was going to end with her saying, Dad, or something like that.
No, the next one's going to start with,
father.
I am your father.
Yeah. So, but she has, when Daisy Ridley is in the catacombs underneath the watering hole, and she's talking with Lupita Nyong'o's character.
Maz Kanata.
Yes, Maz Kanata. So Maz Kanata says something like, there's one who can still come back or something, and she says, Luke. So that seemed like a pretty blatant.
She said,
they're talking about family there.
This was Luke's father's, and now it's calling to you, which is like.
Yeah. But I do definitely have some questions about how they're going to make the timeline work, because if the idea is that he was trying to train this generation of new Jedi, and at some point Ben Solo, I guess kills him, which, by the way, this sets up 3 more prequel movies, by the way, between 6 and 7. It totally does, and it's going to be awesome. So when was Daisy Ridley born? When was she sent away?
I don't know.
Because Adam Driver looks like he's a year older than Daisy Ridley.
I thought he looked much older than her. Like,
yeah, he's got to be 16 years older for that.
Poe Dameron and Kylo Ren are close to the same age, and I got the feeling that Finn and Rey were close to the same age.
You're probably right. I felt like they were all fairly close to the same age.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's actors, so
I'm just wondering, like, how big of a difference in age between Kylo Ren and Daisy Ridley we're going to have for it to make sense. Like, why was she sent away?
I mean, maybe something happened with him, and then like Luke freaked out and was like, let's
I know, but she was still like a 5-year-old when that happened. We see the flashback.
I mean, we don't know anything about him at this point. All we have is this look, this meaningful look, but
what is he doing?
What is he doing? What is he saying? Where has he been? Is he conflicted?
The temple there?
I think he's conflicted, like the force and the balance inside of him.
Yeah.
And
well, because he was treading that line. I mean, very famously throughout the novels and at the end of Return of the Jedi, he almost falls to the dark side. And so I don't know if the temple's supposed to be there. We know that she apparently has been to the island before. They made a reference to when he's like doing his mind meld thing about the island. So there's some criticisms that I want to make of the movie.
All right, let's do it.
So I was talking in the spoiler-free version that the movie feels like there's not enough of certain things, and I get that one of the big differences between the original movies and the prequels was that the original movies were very like ragtag, like you've got 3 Y-Wings and 4 X-Wings attacking the first Death Star, and then the Clone Wars you've got 1 bojillion spaceships altogether.
Bojillion.
They literally sent, like, they're on this rebel base, resistance base, and they're like, okay, we got to take out the Star Killer planet. We're going to send 12 X-Wings.
I mean,
no B-Wings or A-Wings. I feel like that was a missed.
Maybe their forces were thinned out. Maybe that's all they had available.
I'm sure that they were thinned out, but how could that possibly be all they have?
They could have
12
other
X-Wings?
bases.
Well, then send them. Use your hyperdrive. And then, by the way, at the end they fly away with 7 after they said they'd already lost more than half of their troops. That's nitpicking. But you gotta send more than 12 X-Wings. Send a B-Wing, man. Send a Y-Wing, something.
Maybe.
So that felt weird. Why does R2-D2 suddenly activate?
Wasn't it so cute when BB tried to wake him up?
Yeah, that was cute, yes. But there was no explanation, and so it felt very much just like, oh, it's the appropriate dramatic time.
I think what happened was Luke gave him the thing. And
Luke gave R2-D2.
And then he was like, go to sleep until this is time. It's very sensitive information.
But how does he know what time he's supposed to come back then?
I don't
When
know.
Han Solo dies?
Maybe he did something Force-wise. Maybe
Luke
Rey
detected
did something Force-wise. I don't know.
Maybe Luke detected the death of Han Solo in the same way that Leia did. They were very close.
He should be able to.
Maybe.
He's a much stronger Force user than she is.
And the whole thing with the map doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, they have the last piece. And so they're like, okay, we need the rest of it. And so the rest of it is how you get to the starting point of the last piece. What do you need that? Like, if I have...
I think
it doesn't make sense to me that you need that.
They couldn't tell where the piece was. They're like, okay, we get this, but what system is it in? Where is it?
I guess maybe the galaxy is supposed to be much bigger than the map implied, because the map implied that that's 1/8 of the galaxy that they apparently have no charts on.
There's a lot in the Outer Rim.
I guess that's true.
That's where, like, well, I don't know if you can call it Sith at this point anymore, but that's where dark side users want to go discover, the great secret of the dark side of the Force. Yeah, I mean, maybe the galaxy's opened up a lot since the last time we left, but...
One other criticism I want to make is I thought that the Starkiller base was awesome. The idea of, like, carving out a strip of the equator of a planet is awesome. And I get that my initial criticism the first time I saw it was, how the hell could that fire ever reach those other planets? It would take 1,000 years. They say something about it being hyperspace cannon or something. Whatever, fine. But then, like, the fact that they shoot it off, they see it from where the watering hole is in the atmosphere, but that it also goes to the rebel base. And there's a lot of... I guess it had to happen that way dramatically, but none of that makes any sense whatsoever. And how did it merve? How does a stream of plasma merve to like 10 different planets? I don't know. I'm nitpicking. I very much like the movie, but there's some stuff that didn't make sense to me.
And they have their own rules.
I guess that's true.
Of physics.
Yeah. Overall, super excited though. I think that Rey is a great character. I think Finn's a great character.
I have questions. Like, why did Max von Sydow have that piece in the map in the beginning?
Who was he supposed to be?
He's like some guy. Like
okay, so we weren't supposed to know who he was.
I don't know who he is. I don't know why he's so important that he has it. I originally thought he would be a First Order guy because he usually plays like villains.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to know. He's like he's your stand-in Bothan spy, I guess.
And he did die to give them that information.
Yeah.
So sad. Is there any last thought you have before we wrap up?
I mean, it sucks that we have to wait now. And
for
like
Episode VIII?
Yeah. Years, right?
I mean, Rogue will be good.
Yeah, well, Rogue will be perfectly fine.
I need to know what's next in this Skywalker tradition.
I want to see more of Rey and Finn and Oscar Isaac. I think that it's going to be... I'm just very excited that this universe has now been opened up and we're going to regularly have movies in it. It's one of my favorite universes, even if some of the implementations of it have been subpar.
It's not always perfect, and that may be an understatement.
Same for Star Trek, same for Harry Potter.
I'm so happy with how this turned out, and I can't wait for what's next.
Yeah.
Totally. So thanks so much for joining us, audience. Please leave your comments below on your thoughts. I guess you don't have to be mindful of spoilers in this comment section.
Yeah, spoil whatever you want. Spoil
Sure,
other movies.
Do it. Yeah, tell me about who killed Dumbledore. Just do it. Thanks, audience. I'm probably going to watch this a few more times and have more thoughts, maybe some evolved theories. I'm sure you do too. So please let us know about all of that in the comments. This is so great. Please like and subscribe, and may the Force be with you.